You sit down at your desk. You silence your phone. You tell yourself, "This is the hour I finally get to work." And immediately your brain is hijacked. A random memory pops up. An anxious thought about dinner follows. Your attention swings frantically from one passing impulse to the next. In 1893, an Indian philosopher named Swami Vivekananda arrived in the United States to address a massive audience at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. He brought a specific argument to the West. The only measurable difference between an ordinary person and a genius is their degree of mental concentration. He claimed that no knowledge is ever actually acquired from the outside world. The external world is merely the friction that strikes the match. The infinite library of the universe is already locked inside your own mind, waiting for you to uncover it. But this raises an immediate problem. If all human knowledge is already sitting inside us, why is it physically and psychologically agonizing to simply sit still and access it? To fix a broken machine, you first have to understand how its parts move together. Before you can control the mind, you need to understand its mechanical anatomy. This diagram illustrates Vivekananda's metaphor. The baseline human mind is compared to a perfectly calm body of water. Every time you encounter a stimulus, a passing thought or phone notification, it acts like a stone dropping into that still water. This collision creates vrittis, literal waves that distort the mind's surface. Our entire daily experience of reality is a continuous reaction to these chaotic surface waves. We spend our lives getting tossed around by the ripples, completely blind to the profound depths lying beneath. That explains why distraction happens. But it doesn't explain the most frustrating paradox of all. Why does the mind become the most rebellious exactly at the moment we actively try to study or meditate? The answer is found in a concept called samskaras. Think of these as dense, latent impressions left behind by every single past action and thought you have ever had. This schematic demonstrates the mechanics of trying to focus. When you force yourself to concentrate, you are actively pressing down on millions of dormant impressions. They fight back with violent force. These countless stored impressions wait like tigers to jump up the exact second we try to silence them. Your inability to focus isn't caused by the present moment. It is the violent, unmanaged rebellion of your own past impressions. There is a practical sequence of steps to repair this chaotic machinery, starting with a move that feels completely backward: pure observation. This step is called pratyahara. Instead of fighting the distraction, you give the mind the reins. You sit back and simply watch the hideous and random thoughts bubble up without engaging them, waiting until they naturally tire themselves out. Once the mind is exhausted, you actively force it to pin itself to one specific, highly detailed internal point, like a glowing lotus flower, excluding all wandering thoughts. From there, you take that single, isolated point of focus and stretch it out into a continuous, unbroken current of thought. By strictly following this sequence, you strip the mind of its wild autonomy. You take an untamed environment and forge it into a controllable, high-precision instrument. When you reach this absolute peak of concentration, the physical and psychological markers of reality begin to shift. The boundaries between past and present time blur and eventually vanish entirely. This diagram shows the final progression. The external, physical form of whatever you are focusing on melts away entirely, leaving only its pure, abstracted meaning. This is samadhi. It is the ultimate state of complete absorption, where the mind is bereft of all external help and exists as a single, steady wave. This ancient philosophy is directly tied to the modern stakes of autonomy. Today, we live in a world engineered by screens and algorithms, designed specifically to fracture your attention and pull you outward. As long as you are at the mercy of random thoughts and notifications, you operate as a machine, reacting blindly to your environment. Master your concentration, and you achieve ultimate freedom, taking total sovereignty over your own existence.